You will be paid about 15 crores a year to guard this lighthouse. I really want to get the job. There are also endless facilities, like there will be no boss here. You can sleep completely alone. You can fish. You can do whatever you want. Your only job will be to see if the light of this lighthouse is burning properly. If it ever goes off, you'll turn it on again. That's all. You don't have to do anything else. You will sleep all day with your feet up. But the funny thing is that despite all these facilities, it is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Because this lighthouse is placed right in the middle of the ocean. You will not be able to communicate with anyone while staying here. Loneliness will always surround you. Another scary thing is that there are often big storms here. The violence of those storms is so terrible that sometimes the seawater overflows the tower, and even death can occur in this job. What other great dangers can find their way here? You will know later. Now, maybe after seeing all this, you may have a question in your mind that why this lighthouse was built in the middle of the ocean. What is the work and why is it necessary to always keep an eye on this lighthouse? Why can its lights never be turned off? To know the origin of this mysterious lighthouse, we have to go back a few years. At that time, there were no cars, no other vehicles or air routes for transportation, so the only way to travel long distances was by water. At that time, there was an extraordinary sailor named Captain Marius. He was quite famous for being able to cross the sea even in very adverse conditions. Once, he was crossing a dark place in the middle of the sea. Just then, the ship hit some rocks under the sea. At that time, ships were made of wood, due to which cracks easily formed under the ship and water entered. The ship suffered a lot of damage. After this accident, Captain Marius started looking for a solution. He wanted to create something that could warn the sailors of the ship in advance, to save them from such problems. But the vastness of the Pacific Ocean became a cause of great concern. Because the Pacific Ocean is so big and vast, that even if all the landmasses of the 7 continents were combined, the Pacific Ocean would still be larger. Thousands of years ago, when sailors sailed across this vast ocean, they had no idea of what was under the sea. They didn't even have any idea of the road ahead of them. At that time, there was no technology to guide them. Basically, at that time, sailors had to rely on the sun or the moon and stars to navigate the ocean. And because of this problem of direction, 2 or 3 more strange problems would come and gather on the way. As happened to Captain Ellis. Once, Captain Ellis was sailing the Pacific Ocean with his sailors. One night, a storm suddenly started. The whole sky was covered with black clouds. All the stars in the sky were covered under the clouds. Due to this, they lost their way in the storm. When morning came, they found that they were lost in the vast ocean. They had nothing to eat, no water, no food. The sailors' condition became very bad due to hunger and thirst. They were thirsty even in the vast waters of the sea due to lack of water. Many sailors even died. After a lot of difficulty, the captain found the shore. After that, the journey to build a lighthouse began. Alexandria was located next to the Mediterranean Sea in Egypt. At that time, the ruler there was Ptolemy, the second Philadelphia. But for this kingdom, the biggest problem at that time was their location. If you look at this picture a little better, you will understand that to enter this city, you had to travel through this place, and there were many large rocks around this place, due to which the ships that came to trade in this city easily hit the rocks when they passed through this road. As a result, sometimes these ships would sink or suffer major damage. Therefore, due to the decrease in commercial ships in this kingdom day by day, it was economically backward. Ptolemy then began to fall behind at that time to protect his kingdom. He ran to the most famous architect Sostache of Cnidus and prayed to him for relief from this problem. Together the two came up with an idea. They would build a fortress on the water whose light would guide ships at sea and warn them of rocks under the water. He started working on the plan, but he could not imagine that what he was going to do would one day become one of the most famous creations in the world, which would become known as the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The height of the lighthouse in Alexandria was 384 feet. It was made entirely of white marble. At that time, a fire was constantly burning on the top of this lighthouse, for which oil and wood had to be supplied here. This lighthouse was later recognized as one of the 7th wonders of the world. It was not only famous for its height, but also for its extraordinary,